for some years. And God had given me a hint, even though I fought against it, that I would be serving him full time. I didn't like it. But that is the river I had to cross. I had to leave my work as a lecturer in the university to come and head a church that was so rich that the entire income of the church was less than my monthly salary where I was coming from. And we had 40 people to pay. I had to leave my job as a university lecturer. I had to come back to Lagos. And we were very rich in those days. I had to cross the river of poverty that I thought I had left behind forever. I had to cross the river. How long, sir, did it take you to cross the river? Oh, I became general overseer in 1981. We started living on this campground in 1985. Even in those days, there were occasions when we couldn't go to Lagos. Because to go to Lagos, you must have money to pay at the toll gate. 1 naira going, 1 naira coming back. Naira was big then, no. The golden days of Naira will return. But we couldn't move out of the camp because we didn't have 2 naira. 2. And I used to tell my wife then, God knows that there's going to be an accident on the way. That's why he wants us to say, there wasn't going to be an accident. It was just that there was no naira. But glory be to God, I've crossed that river now. And I want to decree to some of you here who are crossing through one river or the other, the God who helped me to cross my river safely will help you. There will be fire to pass through. The same Isaiah 43, verse 2. Isaiah 43, verse 2. He said, hey, when you pass through the fire, when? He said, you will not be burnt. He didn't say you won't pass through. You cannot be a true Christian without passing through the river and without passing through the fire. You know the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in Daniel chapter 3. How come they got into the fire? Because they refused to compromise. They said, if we have to burn, let's burn. But we are not bowing to any idol. And when you read Genesis chapter 22, from verse 1 to 18, Genesis 22 from verse 1 to 18, when God told Abraham to go and sacrifice his only son Isaac, He made sure that he had to travel even for 3 days before he would get to where he would do the sacrificing. Don't let anybody deceive you. Those 3 days, Abraham was passing through fire. Because God made it clear, your son Isaac, whom thou lovest. He rubbed it in. I know you love the boy. Go and sacrifice it. Sooner or later, God is going to find out. Is he number one in your life? Or do you love someone more than him? The good news is, he said, you pass through the fire, but it won't burn you. Oh, thank you, Father. I believe God is. Way back in 1979, December, we were going to have a program at Adeboye during the Christmas period. And I went to Elisha to go and greet my mother because I know I won't be able to come during Christmas period because of that assignment. I arrived at home to find that my mother was dying. Some of you say, so what is important in that? Maybe you don't know that mothers are different from mothers and children are different from children. I was my mother's last born. I was her only son. That woman loved me like nobody else, and I loved her like nobody else. I arrived home and the lady who opened the door said, oh, God has brought you. Somebody told you? I said, told me what? Mama is dying. All that night, I sat by my mother's side. But I had to leave the following morning. People are gathering at Adeboye. I was the one who invited them to come. In those days, there were no mobile phones. We don't even have land phone in my house. I have made no arrangements at all. What am I going to do? It looks as if my mom is going to die. And I have to come, abandon her as it were, to come and attend to the work of God. I was passing through fire. I came, I told her, Mama, you know I love you. She said, I know. But I have to go. She said, I understand. Thank God that she understood. All the days I was at the program in Adeboye, there was no way I could contact home. I couldn't tell whether Mama was alive or dead. We finished the program. I had to wait to make sure that the school we used was put back in very tidy order before I could go home. I got home, I found that almost as soon as I left, my mother was healed. She lived for another 11 years. It was just a test. God wanted to know, if I have to choose between him and my mom, who will I choose? When you pass through the fire, It will not burn you. But don't let me deceive you. Don't let anyone deceive you. There will be rivers to cross. There will be fire to pass through. But at the end of it, glory.